All right. Hello, Internet. Welcome to the show. Thank you for joining us. How did Ja Morant do in his return to the NBA? Let's go ahead and talk about it here on the DNA Sports Recap. How's it going, AJ?
Doing good, man. Doing really good. How are you?
I'm doing well, man. It's been a good week so far.
It's been pretty good.
It's been pretty good. So let's go ahead and talk a little bit about sports.
Where you want to start? Basketball?
Yeah, let's go ahead.
NBA?
Yeah, let's start there. Let's first talk about let's talk about the elephant in the room, or the not so much of an elephant in the room. Let's talk about Ja Morant. He made his infamous return to the NBA last night, came off the bench, scoring 17 points, 5 assists after an 8-game suspension. Gone from the team 9 games.
Away from the team 9 games.
Yeah.
So Memphis goes 9-3, or I'm sorry, 6-3 during the stretch of those 9 games.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a little surprised by that. For Ja Morant to be away from the team, I guess I was totally expecting a coordinated collapse from this Memphis Grizzlies team. You know what I mean? I didn't expect them to just fully fall apart, but I didn't expect them to keep it together to win 6 games out of 9.
No, but they have had a history of playing well when Ja Morant's out. He's been out last year a few times, and he, due to injury and stuff like that, and they've always performed well.
I mean, and they had a pretty big contributor. Tyus Jones steps up. He averages 16 points. 8 assists while shooting 50% from the floor and 40% from 3.
Wow.
He came out and balled, man. So, and he's kind of one of those fringe, off the bench kind of starting players. So, he definitely stepped up, and I'm sure, that contribution definitely helped the Grizzlies through that stretch.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So, I don't think the time away has hurt him at all. We won't get into the reason for the suspension or anything like that. That's not really...
Previous video, check it out.
Yeah, it's just not really our demographic, I don't think. I think you guys have probably seen a bunch of YouTube or listened to a bunch of podcasts that talked about it ad nauseum, so we'll let that go. He's a 22-year-old kid, made some mistakes, and hopefully he cleans it up before it ruins his life, so.
Yeah, he's got every opportunity to be one of the faces of the NBA moving forward.
Oh yeah.
And hopefully he learns his lesson and gets to move forward.
Yeah, it's a big deal. He's probably the best American-born player in the league right now, which
absolutely.
There's a good chance that you want to Also, let's talk about Victor Wembanyama. He is still growing. So,
no way, dude.
Yes, according to ESPN, ESPN's Brian Windhorst and Jonathan Giovanni, Victor Wembanyama is now measuring 7 foot 5 inches, which is a 2-inch growth from the last time they measured him.
Did you see that his wingspan is also now 8 foot from the 7'9" that it was previously?
That's 3 inches, man.
3 inches of wingspan, 2 inches of height. I don't know. Do you think this guy can stay healthy in the NBA? He's done okay in the highest league in France. Do you think he's going to be able to stay healthy playing an 82-game season?
Yeah, I think he has. I think he has a better shot than Yao Ming did. I think he has a better shot than Chet. What's his name?
Yeah,
Chet Holmgren. They got hurt
immediately.
Yeah. I think he's got the best shot of a guy his size in a very long time.
Yeah.
Kevin Durant also is no slouch to this. He was 6'10" when he entered the league, and ended up growing to be
7'1" now.
7'1".
Yeah.
So, it's not unheard of, but it is crazy to think that this kid is still growing. Still young, still could grow
19.
more. Yeah,
just barely turned 19. Man.
Yeah, in the 21 games, he's averaging 22.2 points, 9.5 rebounds, 3.1 blocks, and 2.3 assists per game.
So, fun fact though, the largest wingspan in NBA history, Manute Bol, 8 foot 6 inches.
No way.
Could you imagine even bigger? This dude's massive. Manute Bol, 8 foot 6 inches.
Oh, have you seen a picture of him in a pool? Looks like Slender Man, dude. It's insane. It looks like someone drowned Slender Man. It's pretty crazy. But yeah, other NBA news. I mean, ever since Kendrick Perkins talked all that craziness about the MVP being racially charged, saying that the only players that have gotten the MVP that were in the top 10 in scoring since 1990 have been white players. Ever since then, the narrative has kind of shifted to now people aren't really thinking Jokic is going to be the MVP, which, you know, the man's a triple-double machine on the best team in the league still. I don't know how you argue with that, but they're basically saying that since they're 2-4 in their last 6, and they're kind of at risk of losing the 1 seed to the Sacramento Kings of all teams. But it's just weird to say that. I know they've been good all year. It's just weird to say that since I've been out of high school, the Sacramento Kings are good. So it's just been so...
2006 was the last time they made the playoffs. So.
Yeah, so it's just been... It's been weird. But anyway, I don't know. What's your take on it? I mean, do you think... they're saying now Embiid is probably the favorite. What's your...
So my take is you take Joel Embiid off the 76ers... They still have a previous MVP, James Harden, on that team.
Yep.
You still have Tobias Harris.
And
you still have George Niang.
Of course, George Niang.
You still have good pieces. That's still a serviceable team for the 76ers. Are they as good as they are now? Probably not, but they're not the worst team in the league by any means. On the other hand, you take the Denver Nuggets. When your next best player is Jamal Murray, a mediocre at best Jamal Murray that's shining moment was against the Utah Jazz and Donovan Mitchell in the playoffs. That team's at the bottom of the West. They're in the Wembanyama race.
Do you really think in my opinion, fall?
I think, okay. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, see, I don't disagree, though. I do think they would take a pretty sharp fall. But I don't know. I agree with you. I think he's still, Jokic is still the front runner for the MVP. It's really funny when you think about the Kendrick Perkins thing, where you talked about that. You know why he chose 1990?
Why?
Because the year before that, 1989, was the last time somebody who wasn't white was not in the top 10 in scoring that won the MVP, and that was Magic Johnson. So
convenient.
Yeah, convenient. So anyway, but moving on from that, any other NBA news?
That's all I got, man.
Yeah? All right. Cool. So as far as the NBA, I think that pretty much wraps it up. I mean, what do you expect from Utah coming down the stretch?
I think the Jazz are trying their best to lose, but they're really failing terribly at it.
I think the ownership's trying to lose, but I think management's trying to win. I mean, sorry, reverse that. I think management's trying to lose, but the team's trying to win.
Yeah.
So
that's pretty obvious. They're like, well, we're just gonna. Markkanen's gonna have some injuries. Clarkson's gonna have some injuries. Sexton, we're gonna sideline him.
Yeah.
But you guys just go out there and just do your best.
They're
like, we're gonna give it our all.
Yeah, they do.
Chris Dunn's like, I'm trying to earn an NBA contract, man. I'm going.
Yeah. Well, with the loss to the now before yesterday, the Jazz were actually only 1.5 games out of the 6th seed, which is not a play-in game, which would net them. Now it would be the 3 spot, right? They'd play the 3, so that would actually be the Sacramento Kings. I still think the Jazz measure up well against the Sacramento Kings because the Jazz just beat them at home.
With a very depleted team.
Yeah. So, if we could get up to that 6th spot, I think that'd be fantastic. But with that loss to the Portland Trailblazers, we are now on the outside looking in. We're a game out of the play-in. So
it's so close. It's so close. Make sure you guys tune in. This NBA season's going to finish crazy.
Yeah, 10 games left. The Jazz have not Minnesota. We have Milwaukee coming in tomorrow night. And, of course, Joe Ingles.
Oh, the return of Joe?
The return of Joe.
Oh,
This
man,
will be
I
the
wanna
first
go.
time. This will be the first time he's actually been in the visitors' locker room since he played with the Clippers.
I want to get
before.
tickets.
So he was on DJ and PK in the morning and did his normal morning show.
Yeah.
And he had his old intro and everything. So it was pretty cool. He's doing great. Looking forward to him coming back and playing just as well as he did before when he was a Jazz man. So
yeah.
That'll be interesting. So we've got a lot of movement that could potentially happen in the West. Minnesota's the Timberwolves are in the 7th seed. OKC somehow is in the play-in. They're a game ahead of Utah. So basically, the Oklahoma City Thunder, Dallas Mavericks, and the Lakers are all tied for spots 8 through 10 in the play-in. Only one team has a better record than those 3, which is Minnesota. So it's still pretty wide open.
It's crazy that Minnesota's still in the play-in.
Yeah, Minnesota, if they win one game and the Clippers lose one game, they're in the top 6.
Jeez.
So the West is still wide open. There's still a puncher's chance. I mean, the Utah Jazz just have to win 5 games to maintain. That's what they're saying. They win 5 of the next 10, and they're in. That's what a lot of people are saying. But there's a lot of tough teams out there for Utah.
And they have the number 1 hardest schedule to finish the season off.
Once again, folks, this is a podcast, so if you're watching it's on YouTube. If you want to hear the full episode in its entirety, be sure to look us up wherever you find your podcasts. We're available on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Google Play, Amazon as well, underneath DNA Sports Recap.
And if you're watching on YouTube, make sure you like, share, subscribe. We love interacting with you guys. We appreciate the notes, all the fact checks. Keep doing it. We really appreciate it.
Absolutely. Also, give us a review if you're listening to on the podcast. If you like the podcast, you want to see our beautiful faces, be sure to check us out on YouTube as well. But yeah, once again, appreciate it. Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching. Till next time.